Hi everyone, and thanks so much for joining me for the full moon chart read for February of 2022. It's going to be occurring at February 16th, 11:56 a.m. Eastern Time, but times will vary. Yeah, so we have the full moon in Aquarius, and it's occurring at 27 degrees, so kind of a high degree here. It's squaring with the nodes. And it's we've got a grand cross in the fixed signs. We've got the sun in Aquarius, we've got the moon in Leo, then we've got the south node in Scorpio, and the north node in Taurus. So we've got this grand cross happening. So it's calling us. A full moon is always bringing in awareness. It's shining a light. It's bringing in awareness. So it's bringing in awareness to what our true soul path is with the node energy, and that's a lot what I look at in the soul readings. I do these soul readings, and a lot of it is having to do with the nodes and other placements, but the nodes are absolutely karmic. It has to do with the direction we're going in. These transiting nodes are, as a collective, all of us, the direction that we're going in and where we're going. So, and the full moon in Aquarius too. Aquarius is taking things to a higher level. It's rising consciousness. It's connecting with higher dimensional planes. And when we get to these high degrees, 26, 27 degrees, this is close to, it's not exactly a critical degree. 29 degrees is technically a critical degree. But yet, when we do get into these higher degrees, even if it's not quite 29, it absolutely is, there's an urgency to it. Or it can also be like it's the culmination of a long cycle of things that are finally coming to a culmination, and we're having awareness about them. And with the it's pulled away from Saturn by 10 degrees. I would not call that a conjunction. I usually use like in a 3-degree orb, but I'll go as high as 7. Orb meaning the number of degrees between two planets or two placements. And in this case, 17 and 27, it's 10-degree orb. So I don't know if I'd count that. I think that that's good, though, that it's able to pull away from Saturn a little bit, and it's able to maybe go in the direction of the higher thing, because sometimes Saturn will hold you back. It will. Saturn does want what's best for you, and it is like the wise elder, and it does want to get behind things that are going to be viable and long-standing and everything. But sometimes it can, Saturn can be like, well, why even bother? When you have a Saturn thing, it's like depression, and why even bother? Or it's just going to be too hard, and I don't know if I can do it. So I like that it's really pulling away from Saturn at this time. And so it's able to, what the words that I want to come out is, it's free thinking. It's able to free up our thinking. It's able to see things in a new way without a lot of heavy dogma holding it down, bringing us down. The Venus-Mars conjunction, this is going to be going on quite a bit. I'm doing the Aries ingress readings too, by the way, if anybody would like to get in on that. Those are available. And there's a Venus-Mars is conjunct at that time as well in that chart, and that's and it's conjunct here. I mean, it's pretty exact. I mean, almost down to the minute. Look at this. We've got 1658 and 1657. So 16 degrees 58 minutes, 16 degrees 57 minutes. I mean, just right in there. So this is a snapshot, as is the Aries ingress or any chart that you're going to look at. It's a snapshot of the energy. And at the time of this snapshot of this energy of this full moon, this Venus-Mars is part of it in a big way. So many of us are going to be examining, love. It's going to be happening. Sometimes if we're in the sign of Capricorn, it can be a little bit, sometimes, and I'm a Capricorn too, so I have Mercury in Capricorn. I mean, I do have some Capricorn placements, Sun and Mercury. So I'm not beating up on Capricorns. You don't have to get nasty in the comments. But it can be transactional, if I'm just being brutally honest here. And if you do have Capricorn placements, and it's not like I'm accusing anybody of anything. It's something that you can be aware of, Anything negative in astrology, it's only that you need to be aware of it, or things that you're working on, or places that you can improve, because there's always a positive and negative expression of every planetary, thing. There's always there's always a positive and negative way to express it. So it can be kind of transactional, like what's in it for me? What are you going to do for me? Well, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. It can be like that. But on a positive note, it could be somebody that you work with, or if you are in a relationship, maybe the two of you could start some kind of a business or build some. Definitely strong for building something together. It does not have to be a business, although with Capricorn energy, it could be a business. I mean, that's a highly likely thing here. But Venus and Mars is majorly involved. I just want to check the aspectarian. But they're not aspecting really anything else other than themselves here, it looks like. Well, I would say that they're trining Uranus, you know. I think I discussed this last time, that there is, you know, be aware of, you know, unexpected meetings of potential love interests, you know. It may come in a place or a situation when you're not expecting it, but it also could come in the package. The guys are coming through really strong with the package. I know that there's different meanings of that term, but they're talking about, you know, the physical appearance of somebody. So it's like I'm not a fan of those long beards myself. I'd never date anybody with the long beard, you know. And then lo and behold, whatever you'll never date anybody with, fill in the blank, that's the one that's going to show up, and that's the one that's going to be the soulmate, you know. That could also be another way that the Uranian energy could really come into play. Let's see here. Let me just make another double check here. Oh, another thing with the nodal energy, before we move off of that, the Neptune is still in a trine with that. The Neptune is trining the south node and sextiling the north node. So Neptune can be expressed a couple different ways, as we all know. You know, the fish swimming upward, of course, is, you know, spiritual growth, creativity. Downward is escapism. You know, so there's two ways that can express, just like everything else. But with the trining the south node, I mean, many of you could be aware of some past life things that are popping up. You may have, I early on, when I first started my YouTube channel, you can find it on my channel, I did a video about how, even if you're not psychic, how to kind of tune in to those past life things, you know, maybe movies that you like of a certain era, or places you always wanted to go, things like that. If you want to watch that, you could find it in my channel. But I think that, you know, you don't have to be a psychic necessarily. There's things that are going to be popping up, and the universe is showing you. Also, too, definitely having some kind of people from this incarnation. It doesn't even have to trail into past lives. It can absolutely be just from the past in this incarnation. Having some kind of spiritual awakening, or feeling or sensing them around. If you're having dreams about somebody, even with the, you know, Neptune, you know, in the 12th house, there could be like the, you know, that are passed on, they're in spirit. You know, there could be a lot of that going on. Connecting up with, on a spiritual level or subconscious level, or a song comes on the radio. It's like, oh, that was our favorite song. We love that tune. You know, there's many ways that, you know, spirits and the universe can like reach out to you. And with the energy of Pisces being so strongly involved in the South Node, it can really be kind of subtle. But so pay attention to that. Don't just be so much in a hurry along your busy day to just blow it off, you know. Take a minute and think about it and look into it. It's sextiling, so we could really get some true, deep soul understanding about like where we want to go, what we want to do in this 3D reality. Neptune's all in the spirit realm and in the subconscious mind and everything. But the North Node in Taurus is all about our 3D reality. So this is great for dreaming our reality into existence. Yeah, that could absolutely be happening. We'll have these higher awareness, aha moments. We can see things from the higher energy. We can be free of the old paradigm. We're breaking away from some of the Saturn energy, and we're going out into uncharted new territory. Uranus is involved all over. Uranus and Taurus, again I'll say, is the bridge for bringing the higher dimensions into the 3D reality. A lot of people go on and on about how it's so incompatible because Uranus is air and it's out in the ethers, and Taurus is earth, and it's a problem. No, it's a bridge. It's not a problem. It's a bridge. It's a bridge from one reality to another. It's a gate. It's a gateway. Uranus is a gateway. Yes, they're coming through with that really strong. I'm just coming down here and looking at this aspectarian a little bit more. We've got Mercury trining the node as well. Yeah, it's in a different sign, but that works. Well, Mercury's still conjunct Pluto, and Pluto is trining that north node too, and sextiling the south node. So these big players are coming into connection with these nodes. So this is very powerful energy for, it's like casting a wider net, or reaching out and branching out worldwide, or, it's not just about, it's bigger. It's bigger. It's more widespread, far-reaching. Those are the words that are coming. So, and it's everybody. Everybody's not going to change in a minute, People are going to change slowly. That's how it works. We can't change, even though we could have, individuals absolutely could have major aha moments. For the whole paradigm to shift, it takes a minute, And they're showing me about how the story about how when the Native Americans, when the Columbus and those guys first arrived in North America, they didn't see the ships because it was so outside of their realm of understanding. The boats out on the water, at first they didn't even see them, even though they were there, because it was beyond their understanding. It wasn't until the men came to the shore that it all, they started to really be able to grasp what was really going on there. So, new things on the horizon aren't seen by everybody. Many people don't see them. There's these psychological experiments done where things happen and nobody sees it, because they're in their own lane, they're in their own zone. And today it's more prevalent than ever, and especially with the Aquarian energy. I feel like the Aquarian, I think ninth house might rule the internet, but I definitely tie Uranus and Aquarius energy into the internet. People, and your feeds are curated by the technology. Things you like, you see more of. Things you ignore or put a frown face to or a thumbs down, you see less of. So our experiences are curated, and we do see we only see what we want to see to a bigger. Oh, sorry, I thought my phone was turned off. I'm very sorry about that. Let me turn it off. Hold on, let me turn this on and turn it off. The sound down. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, I'm having an issue getting this thing all the way turned off. There we go. Sorry about that interruption. Yeah, but we do see what we want to see to a large extent, and with the Aquarian moon, especially with the squares to the node and the Pluto being involved, this could be a real eye-opener. This could be a real eye-opener. We could see things from a broader perspective. We could see, the blinders could be taken off. We could see outside of that's what they keep showing me, like, going around and around in a racetrack, and only staying in our lane. But then you're only going in a circle. You want to blast off. With Aquarius, Uranus energy, we're going to be blasting off into the stratospheres. We're not going to be running around that same circle, running around and around and around and around. And, when I do it like that, this is the way you would do it on a horse race or whatever, or I guess a car race. But when it's interesting when you lay that over the astrology chart, that's going backwards, backwards, backwards. And it's, it would be counterclockwise too. So time moves forward. Uranus, Aquarius, is time moving forward. Saturn is Father Time. And it's in Aquarius too, but it's always moving into the future, Aquarius energy is very, very much about the future. Having awareness about what could be good for you down the road in the future. What are the new, with the Saturn being involved, and we still do have quite a bit, and the Venus being in Capricorn, let's leave the Mars out of it for a minute, but Venus in Capricorn is definitely about, money and investment. Pluto in Capricorn, big money, big movers and shakers, and the, financial, big business and all that kind of stuff. What would be the thing that's the wave of the future? What is the wave of the future? What is the new technology? What's the latest? And I mean, crypto could be part of it. Maybe that there could be some implications to that for sure. Because Taurus is also money and finance. That could be crypto, but it's not limited to just that. You know, there's many things that are going to be the wave of the future, and that, you know, green technology, for instance, that's what comes to mind, you know. And maybe as a collective, we should be investing in that, you know. I've said it many times, like for the Appalachian people and stuff, nobody's trying to ditch them. Or it's not like nobody cares about the Appalachian people with the coal mining. But coal mining sucks, man. Coal miners suck. You know, you people that have lived down there, you know that how many of you have lost your grandfathers or, you know, to the black lung and all this stuff. So I know you got to make a living, but let's think about future things, you know, that's sustainable and where people aren't dying of black lung and stuff like that. I've said for a long time, let's, you know, for years and years before coal, those areas were farms. You know, people had farming there. Let's go back to that. Let's do organic farming, or sell, like, you know, Appalachian honey. You know, save the bees, or, you know, put it in Whole Foods and places like that. You know, it's this Appalachian, and so many dollars from this sale. These are, you know, organically grown in the Appalachian, you know, areas of our. Or what? There's different ones, you know, in the southern states where coal mining was prevalent. Let's just put it that way. And here now they're doing, you know, or flowers, flower essence and gems, you know, not gems, but flower essence and gems. I believe there's, you know, a lot of mining of gems down there too. But, you know, and then brand it that way. Where's these people coming in and branding that? You know, put it in Whole Foods. This is Appalachian, you know, pure organic honey. I'd buy it. You know, and $2 of it goes to, you know, blah, blah, blah. Instead of just saying, hey, we want to shut down the coal mine and you don't have any money coming in. And, you know, this is what this Aquarian energy is about. And with the nodes, you know, and the earth, you know, all this earth energy, all the Capricorn earth energy, the Taurus earth energy. You know, let's restore that soil and get that soil back up to being, you know, viable again, and, you know, sustainable. Let's save the bees. Let's do, you know, this is essential, you know, Appalachian essential oils, you know, and people all would be on that so fast, you know. That would be a great thing. Anybody out there, take that idea and use it. Go for it. Because I'm certainly not going to organize anything like that on my own, but I mean, it's just a lot of different things, or just even the rainforest, you know, same. You know, they're cutting down the rainforest because they have to live. It's not like they don't care about the environment. And so people think, well, they don't care about the environment because they're coal miners. No, they're just trying to make a living. And same with the rainforest. They're just trying to make a living. So instead of bitching about it and pointing fingers about how they're bad people because they don't care about the environment, why not offer some viable solutions? With all the world's problems. Yeah, people want to bitch without offering a solution. So what's the solution? That's the Aquarian full moon. That's the Saturn in Aquarius. What is the solution? What's the answer? How do we solve this problem going forward? Instead of just bitching and accusing and fighting, where's the solutions? How are we going to make things that are going to go into the future for us and future generations? And using advanced technology. You know, people don't want, I've said a bunch of times too, I don't want to get too much on my soapbox here, but for how many years did people fight against stem cells? You know, come on now. Technology is there. It could help many people to be healthier and live better lives and not suffer, you know, and, you know, so why aren't we doing it? You know, there's no reason to hold back on technology and advancement. It's not evil. It makes our lives better, you know, and it can make our lives better, and we can move forward into the future to a more an Aquarian society, which is all about, you know, the 11th house is beyond technology and all that. It's all about groups and friends, and that we're all of one tribe, the human tribe here. You know, if we're fighting amongst ourselves, we're never going to be welcomed at the table into the bigger tribes that are available, and the higher societies and the greater technology and the things, you know. This is all about, it's the time, it's the age of Aquarius, it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius, absolutely. All right, enough about that. Anything else that I missed on here about this? Got Saturn trine ascendant, Neptune square ascendant, Pluto trine node. We talked about that. Jupiter sextiling Uranus. Yeah, that's an ongoing thing. The Jupiter sextile Uranus. That's over here at 10. It's pretty exact, though. I have to say, it's right at 10 and 11 degrees. Yeah, well, that's just adding fuel to the fire of this Uranian expansion, bringing the higher dimensions down to Earth, tuning into our own intuition and letting those. Those hunches and those spiritual things and those insights and those feelings and those dreams, letting that be as real as anything, bringing that into the 3D reality. It's not coming at us for no reason. It's not nonsense. It's not, I'm hearing fiddle faddle. Okay, yeah. Hey, everybody, it's not fiddle faddle. Okay, guide, whoever came through with fiddle faddle, I said it. But it's there's a reason for it. Our subconscious mind is always trying to speak to us. Our spirit guides are always trying to speak to us. If we come out of our narrow-mindedness and expand into wider perspectives, everything becomes lighter, everything becomes easier. We see things from the bigger picture. We're not so down in the trenches. When you're down in the trenches and rolling in the mud, it's hard to see the light. But if you come out of there and step back and come out of your own, stop running in that circle, like the horse on the racetrack with the blinders on, running around and around and around the circle endlessly. Get off of that. Get off that merry-go-round. Get off of that circle. Get off of that. I can't think of the word that I want to say, but you know what I'm saying. Get off of there. You don't have to stay on that. The rat race or whatever. You don't have to stay in that. You can soar to the highest realms, and that's the intention. That's our soul intention, not to be bogged down and fighting amongst each other. Very strong burst of Uranian energy. I know the full moon is in Leo, actually. I'm talking so much about Aquarius, I neglected to talk about Leo. The actual full moon is in the sign of Leo, excuse me. Yeah. So, when a full moon is in Leo, I always think about, how can we treat ourselves better, But, that's the thing about Leos. You always think, oh, Leos, they just are so into themselves and they're so this and that, blah, blah, blah. Leos are very magnanimous. They're very generous. If you've been loved by a Leo, if a Leo has ever doted on you or shined that light of the sun, because they're ruled by the sun, if you've ever basked in the sun of a Leo doting on you, you know that they love really strongly as well too. It's not just all about me, the ego. Of course, again, there's that positive and negative thing, It can be all about me and I'm the best, I'm the king and you're the peasant. But it also can be, the magnanimous, fun, pull you out of the dumps, If you're down in the dumps, go hang out with a Leo friend. They'll cheer you up. You'll be laughing in no time because they have this great laugh and everything. So, yeah, Leo is in there, but Leo's just right over here. This is where the action. This is a bucket chart, I would say. Where there's like one handle and there's the rest of it. They call it a bucket chart. So the majority of the energy is over there. Anywho, all right, everybody. So this is the reading. I want to real quick remind everybody again that I am open for the Aries Ingress reading. It'll be available for a limited time. I look at a bi-wheel. Oops, there we go. With your chart in the center and then the planets around, and it's a psychic reading, and it's a 3-month ahead reading. It's like for the upcoming season. But we do look at all major transits, so if that's something, I only offer astrology readings quarterly, and they're not available all the time. So if you're more astrology oriented and you want to get in on that, check it out. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate. Have the best full moon in Aquarius, and I'll talk to you again soon.